What's going on, folks? Thanks for joining me. It's Kick Weekly with Tim Wheaton. We got a ton of stuff going on today and this weekend, so let's take a quick look at what's going on in the world of kickboxing and Muay Thai this week. This week, we're going to be looking at Combat Karate 45, the GLORY Light Heavyweight Grand Prix, which was just announced, Rise 177, even Senshi 21. We're going to be looking at the K-1 Romania announcements, a little bit of One Friday Fights 59, and RWS for last week and this week upcoming. So let's take a deeper look at what's going on with Karate Combat 45. Karate Combat is now looking to make massive moves in the Middle East. They're talking about doing different shows in places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi and really investing in that market there, and it's great to see. We've had some various interviews upcoming for this event, people like Raymond Daniels, we've talked to Shazab Rind, and then we're going to have some other interviews upcoming later in the week. For Karate Combat 45, we're also going to have someone on the ground at the event, which is great. We had a contact out in Dubai there who will be attending the event, which is fantastic. One of the people I've worked with at ArabsMMA.com will be on commentary for the Arabic side of the event, so it's going to be good stuff, but let's take a look at what's going on. The main event will see Joe Schilling take on Luke Rockhold. So this is a former GLORY kickboxing champion taking on a former Strikeforce and UFC world champion. Joe Schilling was a power puncher with a very aggressive and rough style. He had tons of knockout success between kickboxing and even in MMA as well. One of the best knockouts of, 2014 or so was his knockout in MMA against Melvin Manhoff in Bellator, when Bellator was interested in crossing over a lot of kickboxing stars to MMA. Joe Schilling, most of his career was won by knockout, and he was able to earn a GLORY middleweight title and some WBC Muay Thai titles as well. And I want to say that he was a contender in Bellator kickboxing, but I don't quite remember that very well. He's not competed in some time. His last official fight in kickboxing was, I think, in 2017, and then in MMA was a loss in 2019. But let's take a look at Luke Rockhold. So obviously a little bit, Luke Rockhold is a name that everybody knows of just how amazing he was during his 2012 Strikeforce run with his incredible flashy kicks, picking up the title, and then his 2015 run in the UFC, picking up the title, knocking out, beating Lyoto Machida, beating Chris Weidman. Luke Rockhold really doesn't have, he looks like he has a Taekwondo or karate background, but he doesn't. He just has an MMA background. The guy went to an MMA gym and was a standout fighter when it came to his kicks. He very clearly had talent there, but it is a massive surprise that he doesn't come from a Taekwondo background with the style that he uses in kicking. Over time, he very quickly developed some world-class jiu-jitsu skills, and I actually competed in regional and international jiu-jitsu tournaments. Now, for his recent career in MMA, he's coming off of 3 losses, but those are spread out over quite a few years there. Some of them were by knockout. In kickboxing, he's never had a fight in kickboxing or boxing. The closest was a BKFC fight against Mike Perry, in which he lost via TKO because his teeth got knocked out, which is pretty rough. The thing is, I really do like Luke Rockhold. He's a very entertaining and talented fighter, but that guy from 2015, from 2012 is just no longer there. It's 2024. He's coming off of quite a few losses in MMA. And one of the last things to go for a person's skills are power. So Joe Schilling probably isn't the prime that he used to be in. He's not going to be the same kickboxer that he once was, but that power is always going to be there, and that power is not going anywhere. And that's what gives me pause. Luke Rockhold is a guy who's quite hittable, whether it's Yoel Romero, whether it's Jan Blachowicz, whether it's Mike Perry. He's a guy who gets hit. And for that reason, you can see Luke Rockhold. I really do think Luke Rockhold will do well in this fight, landing lots of combinations, kicks, controlling from distance, and with the Karate Combat rules, you'll be able to control very well with takedowns as well. But ultimately, Joe Schilling just needs one punch to win this entire fight. Let's move on and take a look at the rest of the Karate Combat 45 event, and this is coming up on April 20th, just a few days away here. The co-main event will see a title match with a world champion from Brazil, Luiz Rocha, who is a student of Machida Karate, taking on Mirza Bektubayev from Russia. I think Y2K Fairtex is on the card, or was supposed to be on the card. I don't quite remember. American kickboxing legend Raymond Daniels will be competing against Eddie Farrell. Raymond Daniels was one of the guys, he competed in Chuck Norris's WCL back in the day. He competed as a champion in Bellator kickboxing. He competed in MMA in Bellator. He also competed and was a contender in GLORY kickboxing. He also competed in tons of karate world tournaments and was able to win first place in almost every karate karate tournament he went in. So in any organization that he goes to under different rules, he is either a top contender or a champion. Whether it's point style karate, whether it's, this style of karate, whether it's K-1 style of kickboxing, whether it's full contact style of kickboxing, he did very well and he's very good. He's about 44 years old, but he doesn't seem to be slowing down very much because he has a very tactical style when it comes to fighting. If you've ever seen the highlight of the guy doing the 720 knockout punch from Bellator, that's Raymond Daniels right there. He's known for his high flying style. He's a really exciting fighter. And he's very experienced. He's trained all around the world because anyone who's fighting someone like Stephen Thompson, they usually fly in Raymond Daniels to emulate his style in training to try to figure out how to counter it. Really exciting fighter, really one of the must watch fighters. And he's going to be fighting Eddie Farrell. Eddie Farrell is an Australian fighter who Muay Thai and Letway experience, very aggressive. He kind of uses a long clinchy guard, which is going to be interesting under these mixed kind of kickboxing MMA rules that they use in karate combat. So yeah, that's going to be a very, very exciting fight. And the rest of the card is a mix of Muay Thai versus karate or Muay Thai versus kickboxing. And that's really fun to see. It's a really fun idea that they're throwing here. Souza will be fighting on it. You have a lot of people from India versus Pakistan as well. I believe Adam Noy is going to be fighting on it, who's a stadium fighter from Muay Thai. So it's going to be a cool mix of styles on it as well. You got India versus Pakistan because they're trying to start a little war. They got Muay Thai versus karate. They got Muay Thai versus kickboxing. Again, they're just trying to start a little war here. And then you also have some pit submissions on it as well. I'm not overly familiar with the submission world, but I do know Craig Jones is quite famous and he's going to be on that card. And they're not co-main events. Those are preliminary fights. And then it's going to be striking well above that. Yeah, make sure to check that out. Live from Dubai on April 20th. That's Karate Combat 45. Glory Kickboxing has just announced on Twitter that they will be going ahead with the Light Heavyweight Grand Prix in June. We don't know where it's going to be hosted or the exact date at this point or who's exactly going to be fighting, but that has a lot of potential. You have the champion Tariq Kababez, the former champion Donegi Abina, the former champion Sergey Masloboyev, three incredibly talented fighters who want to throw down with each other because they've all fought each other and all had close fights, win or lose against one another, or controversial losses. Those are three great names right there. And then you have the knockout king from Romania himself, the young fighter Stefan Latuscu coming in. Really looking forward to that. You will have Bahram Rajabzadeh, the guy who was just competing at heavyweight and nearly knocking out everyone, the aggressive, the unstoppable Bahram Rajabzadeh in it. Just incredible, incredible stuff. I'm like, those names right there get me so excited. And then you have people who might be fighting in it, like a Luis Tavares might be in it, a Bogdan Stoica might be in it. There's tons of potential in this Grand Prix. And genuinely, I can't wait. I think the light heavyweight Grand Prix will lead to more excitement than maybe any of the other tournaments. So yeah, that's going to be a really fun one. Keep your eye out in June. And as we get closer, I'll keep covering that one as well. This weekend booked for April 21 will be Rise 177, and it will have a tournament on the line. So it'll be a one-night tournament between four men. So you have Ryo Takahashi versus Panuat TGT, and then you also have Katsuji versus Taisei Iwanoge, and those are the semifinals, and then the winners of those fights will fight in the finals. I'm not going to lie to you folks and say that I'm an expert on these people. Rise always has very talented fighters and very exciting events, so you can catch the replays on YouTube after a few weeks. I believe on Abima TV, if you don't watch it live, you can still watch the replays on Abima TV. But yeah, it's a good way to get to know these fighters for people like me. Like, I'll watch this tournament and then I'll know more about these people. But as it is right now, I'm not going to lie to you and pretend that I'm an expert on these guys. You also have some good fights like Rasta versus Yuki Kiyotani. You have Shuto Miyazaki against Kenshin Yamamoto. Wakana Miyazaki, who I like, who just beat Melty Kira, will take on Mei Miyamoto, who my friends at Inside Kickboxing, those disgusting, those nice people, those very nice people at Inside Kickboxing helped me out here. And apparently Mei Miyamoto is a national boxing champion who has a couple of wins in kickboxing and will continue in this career. And that's very cool and very exciting. I think that mini flyweight division is really coming together. It's a builder division, but it's an exciting one that they have in Rise. So anyway, I will watch that Rise event and then let you know what needs to be watched and checked out. You can check the Rise website, translate it to English, and they give you some really interesting information like Shuto Miyazaki. And then, so for example, they give you a little bio on each person about what they're into, what their background is, kind of standard stuff. But then they always ask them what you don't like. And most people say like spiders or insects or something like that. But then there's Shuto Miyazaki, who says, I don't like spicy things. What a loser. Man, if you don't like spicy things, grow up. You're not a child anymore. You have Yamamoto Kenshin, who says that his special skill is walking. Oh, such a talented individual. I'm so impressed with you, Kenshin. All right, let's keep moving down. What else we got? We got Senshi 21, which really surprised me. Like I wasn't really, I need to get more into Senshi here because they have some really cool events coming up and they have some very big names on these cards as well. Some very recognizable people, but Senshi 21, this is going to be coming up on April 20th this weekend. Some fairly recognizable names fighting some people who are looking to make a name for themselves. So you have Mihail Velkovsky will be taking on James Conde of France. Nikola Chetkovich will take on Konstantin Rusu. And I think I've talked about Konstantin Rusu before, but I don't quite remember where. Nikola Todorovich, who's a very good fighter, will take on Kevin Lachimi. Giorgio Biniaris will take on Iraj Azazarpour, who is just coming off of his heavyweight run in one championship. He was title shots, fighting in tournaments, really exciting fighter, gives anybody a tough fight. So that's exciting to see. You also have Gianni Stofordes will take on Cristian Risti from Romania. And I forget where I know Cristian Risti from. But yeah, there's tons of like interesting fighters on the card, people who are former one championship fighters or former glory fighters who are just in between contracts at the moment fighting in Senshi 21 here. And a lot of people who are looking to make a name for themselves. And on the Senshi website, my understanding is you will be able to watch it for free. So it should be very exciting if you got some time on April 20th. Check it out. K-1 Romania has announced a ton of fights coming up on June 7th. And then there are a lot of rumored fights as well. But we have Akira Jr., who is going to be fighting for the inaugural K-1 Fighting Network Championship. He's a Filipino-Japanese background fighter, will be taking on Bogdan Stoica in the light heavyweight division. Errol Zimmerman is rumored to be on the card as well. Sergey Adamchuk is rumored to be on the card as well. You should have Stoyan Korplevinsky taking on Amancio Pereshiv. So it's filling out very interestingly. That's going to be held in Romania on June 7th. Daniel Gita is likely to be in the audience. Remy Bonyaski, Ernesto Hust have all been invited to enjoy the event as well. But as that develops, I'll certainly be telling you folks a little bit more about it as more fights are confirmed, as it is quite heavily rumored at this moment. But yeah, that should be a good one coming up on June 7th. In RWS Muay Thai this weekend, coming up on April 20th, it will be Joe Ryan looking to defend his Raja Damnaran Stadium middleweight title bout. Yeah, Joe Ryan is from England originally, and he will be taking on Brazil's Victor Hugo. Victor Hugo, former author who died in the 1800s, known for Les Mis, known for Hunchback of Notre Dame. He is now coming back to life as a Brazilian Muay Thai striker and is looking to get a Raja Damnaran Stadium Muay Thai title. Definitely check it out. Definitely check that out. RWS Muay Thai is always very good. That's going to be on DAZN. And if you miss it, it should be on YouTube fairly quick after that. Or if you are in Thailand, you can watch RWS Muay Thai right on YouTube. You also have One Friday Fights 59. The full card has been released. So we have Yaman taking on Yakim Oraki in flyweight Muay Thai. You have Yontong Tai taking on Pet Namnong. Rambong will be taking on Pet Fuapa. But yeah, the Friday fight series are always very, very exciting. It's not the biggest names that they've ever put on. It seems like every couple of months they put on a very big One Friday Fights cards, and then they're kind of builders in between. And yeah, it looks like a really exciting one. So this should be a really fun one. Free live on YouTube on Friday. That's going to be One Friday Fights 59. Should be very, very exciting stuff. So just a quick one this week with Kick Weekly with Tim Wheaton, just because I have been so busy lately and so busy going forward as well. Just wanted to review and say like this happened last week and this is upcoming this week. But yeah, what's going on is a lot of stuff got piled on at the same time, and then now I'm behind schedule. So I did the UFC 300 podcast the other day, and then we have another podcast coming up this afternoon on another network that I'm doing. And then I am behind on about 3 video essays that I need to complete. So both for Glory, PFL, and RWS, I need to complete video essays. When it comes to articles, I'm behind as well on articles. So I need to complete a Karate Combat article. And we have, I think, 3 or 4 interviews that I haven't released yet that I'm just sitting on. And then my normal job, my actual day job, I'm a little bit behind schedule on that as well. So it's a lot of time intensive things that I need to get to here. So I just thought with Kick Weekly, it is a little bit of a slower in between week. I mean, Karate Combat is coming up this weekend. Rise is coming up this weekend. RWS is coming up this weekend. Senshi is coming up this weekend. I recognize that. But yeah, none of them are, but yeah, But yeah, so that's great. Make sure to check those out. But yeah, just thought I'd do a quick one this week. That's the information you folks need. And look, with these cards from Rise to Senshi to Karate Combat, I'm not an expert and I don't know everything. I'm just saying like this is where to watch it. Make sure to check it out. But some of you know a lot more than me. So leave the info down in the comments. Why do we need to know this fight? Or what's the story behind this fight? Or why do we need to know this fight? All that sort of stuff. But yes, keep an eye out for the Kick Sports channel. We'll have lots of more stuff coming out from fight breakdowns, more podcasts, more interviews. We got a ton going on. Thanks so much for your time, folks, and I will see you at the same time next week.